He was alone, lying in a dark room, fever burning from within. The pain was unbearable. His thoughts were hazy, his breath weak, and everything he knew seemed to be falling apart. In that moment, he knew his life was slipping away. But instead of fighting the inevitable, something unexpected began to happen. He didn't resist the pain. He let it move through him, and then a strange stillness settled in, so deep, so absolute, that even the pain seemed to vanish. And that's when a question arose, silent but immense. Who am I? He realized he was not the body lying there. He was something beyond. And then the answer came, like a flash of clarity. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am pure consciousness. In that instant, the fever, the pain, the fear, all disappeared. He was no longer a man fearing death. He was something eternal, infinite. This experience was not just a personal awakening. It was the revelation of a truth that lives within us all. The true nature of being is not limited to the body, nor to thoughts, nor to time. It is silent, present, eternal. And that young man who discovered this so deeply in that near-death moment would become known as Ramana Maharshi. Decades later, in another part of India, another seeker was also turning inward, moved by the same thirst for something real, something eternal. His name was Paramahansa Yogananda. And though their paths would only intersect much later, their hearts were already touching the same ocean of truth early on. Yogananda discovered that fear, especially the fear of death, is born from illusion, from identifying with something we are not. Yogananda wrote, "The soul is always free, always joyful, untouched by the events of life or death. It is only the ego that creates the illusion of separation. The root of fear lies in identifying with the transient. But the soul knows that nothing real can be threatened. Fear is not something we need to forcibly eliminate. It's something we need to understand. It arises from the ego's attachment to the body and the material world. What we call fear is only the body's reaction to thoughts of loss or death," Yogananda said. But the soul knows no death. And he didn't say this out of belief, but from direct experience. One night, in deep meditation, Yogananda felt himself leaving the body, not as something imagined, but as if he were truly dissolving. For a moment, everything vanished, the body, time, the world. And only one thing remained, absolute freedom. The body is only a vessel. The soul is always free, he said. And that's when the certainty was born. Death is merely a change of form. The truth is that fear doesn't dissolve when we avoid it. It dissolves when we look at it through the eyes of the soul. When we realize we are not the ego, not the body, not the thoughts, fear loses its grip. It reveals itself for what it always was, a shadow, a reflection of ignorance. And in that moment, freedom arises. Meditation, prayer, contemplation all lead us to the same source, the inner stillness where we discover the eternal truth that lives within us. The soul knows only freedom. Fear is born from ignorance of who we are. Yogananda, when we remember this, when we truly feel this, fear no longer paralyzes us, and what remains is peace. You are not the body, not the fear. You are freedom. You are light. You are eternal. And in that realization, all fear disappears. Imagine a life where fear no longer holds sway over us, where we are free to experience every moment fully. Without the weight of fear, our hearts would be open to the richness of life, to the simple joys that are always available if only we allow ourselves to receive them. In the absence of fear, we would taste life in its purest form. The warmth of a hug, the beauty of a sunset, the joy of a deep breath. Every experience would be a celebration, a reminder of the incredible gift of being alive. When we let go of fear, we open ourselves to the full spectrum of human experience, pleasure, love, laughter, and connection. Imagine walking through your days with a sense of ease, of grace, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. The world becomes brighter, more vivid, more inviting. The simple things, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of birds singing, become sources of deep pleasure. Life is no longer a struggle, but a dance of joy, of freedom, of living fully in the moment. Pleasure is not limited to the senses, though they are a beautiful gateway to it. True pleasure arises when we are deeply present, when we surrender to the flow of life, letting go of any resistance. It's the pleasure of connection with others, with nature, with ourselves. It's the feeling of being truly seen and loved, of sharing laughter and warmth, of losing ourselves in the beauty of a moment. It's the joy of simply being without any need to prove, to struggle, or to fear. When we are free of fear, we are free to experience the full depth of joy. Joy is not something that happens to us. It is something we can choose, moment by moment. It is the joy of simply existing, of embracing the present, of feeling the pulse of life in every breath we take. In this state, every part of life becomes a source of joy. The mundane becomes extraordinary. The ordinary becomes magic. We are no longer bound by the limitations of fear, and in that liberation, we find a joy that is vast, uncontainable, and pure. Life becomes a celebration. Every moment becomes a gift, a chance to experience the fullness of life, to feel the richness of every sensation, every emotion. We are here to live joyfully, to feel the pleasure of being human, to connect deeply with the world and each other. When fear is gone, all that remains is the beauty, the love, the pure pleasure of simply being alive. In this life, every breath, every heartbeat is a celebration of our existence, and that celebration is the true essence of living.